Ottawa was named the most boring city in Canada at the inaugural Boring Awards, Yawn Fest, held in Toronto on Wednesday. The Boring Awards were part of a promotion for a documentary called Boredom, which looked at the root of what bores people. So the question in Top Talkers today, does Ottawa deserve the title of most boring city in Canada? On the panel this morning, Melanie Adams from 93.9 Bob FM at Cub and Company. Oh, Cub's over there too. Hey, Cub, Carson. And also we have Catherine Dines from afternoons on Magic 100, or from middays on Magic 100. I'll catch up with what happened 3 months ago in a minute. Yeah. So, boring. Are we the most boring city in Canada? Is that fair?
No, I think that people are getting angry about this and they need to be. Like, I've seen actual stuff on Facebook and Twitter of people who are genuinely upset about this. Yeah, sometimes we're boring and we're not as, big city and exciting as Toronto, Montreal. So what? Who cares? Do
you like boring a little bit? Sounds like you might like boring.
Like the most exciting part of my week is when I get to drink coffee in the evening on Fridays because I don't have to get up the next morning to work, so I might not be the best judge.
Yeah. Catherine, what do you think?
Okay, so I completely disagree, and I think it depends on the personal perception. And I guess my pet peeve, especially with my kids at home, is hearing I'm bored. I'm like, we're all responsible for creating our own fun. You can create fun anywhere, and Ottawa, I think, maybe gets that title because of our government town status, right? But we're a thriving live music, arts and culture center. Like, there's so much going on here, and I think people just need to get on the Google. You know what? I mean, come on, seriously. And we can all do our part to change that perception. We've got social media now. It's easier than ever. Get out and explore your own backyard.
And share it with others.
Yeah, we talked about this morning on the show, and the consensus that we got were, well, it's not necessarily the city, it's maybe the people,
Okay.
And I think if anyone has ever spent any time in the city doing things that they like to do, you understand that they're there. The exciting events are there. You got to know where to look for them, right? And just because they're not out front and they're not up front, we're not Toronto, we're not Montreal, we're not Vancouver.
Nor do we want to be.
We're kind of like, I guess we're kind of like, Canada's uncle kind of thing, he's kind of quiet, but you get a couple of beers in him and whoa, the pants come off, So I think if anybody's ever spent any time, and being like, I spent some time away, coming back and being here for things like Canada Day. Canada Day is a great example of how Ottawa, when we do let our hair down, we like to have a good time.
Devil's advocate would say that a whole bunch of people from different cities are in town, and maybe that's why it's exciting in Canada.
Well, it's a transient town, it's a government town. But don't discourage the fact that this thing came out from people that are based in Toronto.
Yes.
And they're looking for fodder. They're looking for attention for the movie that they're coming out with.
Right.
So I mean, I think they've accomplished that.
Now, what do you think? I think there's an argument here for boredom in a couple of ways. One of which is, can you make a reservation after seeing a show at the NAC on a Tuesday night for an 11 p.m. dinner?
No.
That's difficult to do in this city, isn't it?
Who the heck eats at 11 at night?
You never get to sleep at night.
People in non-boring cities.
You never get to sleep at night. They're show-offs.
Nothing good happens after midnight. You're in trouble.
That's not a boring statement.
Well, it used to. It used to.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so how about this too? When you take a look at Toronto, and we just discussed this really quickly, but I want to get your thoughts on this. So much of their lives are spent in their cars, waiting to get somewhere to do something. Doesn't that factor into boredom?
You would think so, but I think the Ottawa-Toronto rivalry is the reason why this award ceremony was held in Toronto, just because it gets people yapping and chirping.
Well, they got to do something to take away the fact that they blew a 3-goal lead with less than 11 minutes to go in a game. But we're not going to get into that because their season's over.
Yeah, that's true. So it's really over. So you're in full staunch defense, Catherine, of Ottawa.
Yeah, I mean, I get exhausted reading about all the stuff that happens here, and sometimes I'm like, I can't choose. There's so many things to do.
And if anyone knows Catherine, you know that it took her 3 years to buy a barbecue. Okay. And then the car had to be the same color as her door. So she's got a lot of stuff going on.
It looks great.
I like that. Good job. Listen, to wrap up Top Talkers, there's no question, definitive answer on this. We are not more boring than Brampton. I've been there. We're not. That's the way it is. Thanks to my panel today as we continue on CTV Morning Live. It's decided we're not boring.